This is If My People Bible Reading Part 94. We are still in the book of Psalms, and as I explained before, we're now in the section. I'm going to start at Psalm 48. So we're now still in the Psalm section of Exodus, which is all about Israel in view. And Psalm 49 is how we can apply that today. Psalm 49, verse 1. Hear this, all you peoples. Listen, all who live in this world, both low, high, rich, poor alike. My mouth will speak words of wisdom. The utterance of my heart will give understanding. Why should I fear when evil days come, when wicked deceivers surround me, those who trust in their wealth and boast of their great riches? No man can redeem the life of another or give to Elohim a ransom for him. The ransom for a life is costly. No payment is ever enough. That he should live on forever and not see decay. One thing that we don't want is, and Yeshua made sure that didn't happen, is that we were expelled from the Garden of Eden because we ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That means, who did that? Hasatan. How do we know that? Because he's in the tree. And so I know I go against a number of people who have fought hard and wrote tons of books about it and will never change their minds because they wrote a book and they'd have to apologize if they wrote another book saying the other book was totally wrong. That's what's wrong with Christianity today and Hebrew roots and Messianics. Once people start putting stuff out there, once Orthodox Judaism starts taking hold, they don't go back. They just double it, and they give you even more Torah, even more harder things that you'll never be able to get through, and more of their, oh well, we don't even read the Bible anymore. We don't read the Bible because we get the information from Talmud and from Kabbalah and mysticism and certain ways you say and do things, and only we know it, and you don't know anything. And we also live in a time where almost all the money is in the hands of 1 to 2% of the population, and 98% of the people have nothing, but mostly debt. And young people today, they've got themselves in a jam. I don't, they just got hoodwinked. I remember working in a college, and I've said this to so many groups I've talked to as an example. I use myself. I used to, and I walked away from all these things. People at the college couldn't understand, why did you resign from that job? Well, for one thing, I was able to put together a college program for police officers, and it's one of the first in the United States. And the whole United States took over it. That is, you can get a college degree or college credit at least while you're in the FBI, University of Virginia Commonwealth, and you can get an AA degree going through police corps, and you can go it through highway patrol academies and so forth. It started at this small college I was at, and it was me. I came up with it, and it was one of those things I did right. And I remember arguing with the federal government over the grant system. They had the police corps, CORPS. And I remember the federal government point blank on the phone. I'm talking to them on the phone. They're saying, you said, Bruce, that you could do this for $750,000 a year. You can train all these people and get them on certified law enforcement officers with a college degree. I said, yes, sir. And there was a long silence on the phone. I thought, uh-oh, I got to lower it. I don't know if I can get under 750,000. I'm thinking, oh, I got to pay people good wages, 20, 15, 20, $30 an hour. And here's what they said: jack it up, because Tennessee and South Carolina and Mississippi, they've got theirs in, and they're coming in at 1.2 and $3.1 million. I said, for the same academy? Why is it costing so much? Well, we need you to jack it up. I said, well, I don't need to. Can I just get this grant, get it going? Well, and the answer was no. And here's what they explained to me. I'm in charge of, I'll just make up a number, $40 million. And I have to audit it and make sure all the money's spent right, because we can't have the federal government cheating too much of the tax dollars taken from people. So, and if I let this out to 25 different states for this $40 million I'm given, then I have to take care of 25 audits or 40 audits. But if I get it out to 5 or 6 states, then I have to do 5 or 6 audits. He's saying I can do less work. This is a federal employee. And I just walked away from it. I let someone else take it who took it, and I think he's sorry to this day he ever did. He's now in the ministry. He walked out too. He's in the ministry. But this is how the world works today. So it's evil through and through. So all you people out there that don't like the word evil, it doesn't matter. You don't believe in evil anyway. So forget you. I don't really care what you think. So here we are in the book of Exodus. We're into ruin redemption. And so I comment on this. I said, today, if you take 100 people and give them an equal amount of money in a short period of years, almost everybody's going to have nothing, and just a few people are going to have it all. And that's where we are in the world today in the year 2020 with a $29 trillion debt, which, by the way, comes out to, if I last figured it, $347,000 per living human being in the United States. That means babies that are 1 day old. They owe the government about $350,000 to get out of debt. Doesn't mean that they'll be wealthy. That means just to get out of debt, to get to zero. And that doesn't count other debt. That's just government debt. It's outrageous. And that's you got to have your faith. And your faith in action is not sitting around saying, woe is me, I got a stomach ache because I can't take this. Get off of your duff and put your faith in action. All right. Now we jump up to Psalm 74. Where are we at here in Psalm 74? We are in Leviticus section, which is darkness, dawn, tabernacle, temple, and the house. You're going to see all this when you read the book of Psalm. You're going to see it now that I've told you. Just remember that. You enjoy the read and understand it, why the book of Psalm is right after, Deuteronomy. Okay? Psalm 74, verse 1, why have you rejected us forever, O Elohim? Why does your anger smolder against the sheep of your pasture? There's that keyword trigger, sheep. Comment. In love, but honestly said, when I was young, I never understood why the Bible mentioned people as sheep. Now, in my older years, I am saddened how many know so little about the word, nor have they read it deeply, nor do they care what it even seems. They just like to suck on the milk. Many have Bibles in their homes, but they don't open them. Many have Bibles, but they don't read them. And they don't read the word. And they don't read what they're supposed to. The whole book like a book. I love them also, nonetheless. Should we call ourselves sheeples? I also understand why there's a millennium instead of believers just going straight to the heavenly realms, all with our, flying wings and sitting on the clouds and playing harps. And, for those who appreciate these, I hope to see you all one day with Yeshua. But remember, and I'll say it again, this is very serious. This is the serious part. The millennium is for those who are chosen to be shepherds, to shepherd someone. They're not going to shepherd Yeshua's temple. That's for the Levites. So the Levites were not forgotten. No, the Levites will not be telling us how to do temple stuff, temple slaughter, temple animals and gutting them and all this other stuff. That's what they're doing for the Lord. And plus, what are they going to do with all that meat? Are they just going to sit there or roll it down the hillside into the valley of Hinnom? No, they're going to eat it. It's going to be kosher. It's for them. It's for them. So what are we doing? The 144,000, the bride of Yeshua. Well, we're shepherds, so that means we got to have sheep. Who are the sheep? Christians who've been sucking on milk and no meat and follow whenever their pastor says and watching the guy on television, the prosperity speaker, you know who I'm talking about. Besides, if he should pass away tomorrow, another one will put in his place. And you all be sitting there going, I love Jesus. He loves me. I love everything. Am happy as can be. And you just and you sit there and go, well, I just don't understand. I'm going to give him my $100 because I don't know what to do with my $100. He needs another Cadillac. It's not Cadillac anymore. It's probably some kind of fancy. Well, they're from California too, so it's a probably green car, some kind of green energy car. Oh, well, that's 300,000. Well, I just need to have the sheeples pay me some more, and I need some more homes and jets and so forth. That's the that's pathetic life that you see out when you look outside your window. So let's go to Psalm 150. Where's Psalm 150? It's in Deuteronomy section, Psalms 107 to 150. Perfection and praise of the word of Yahweh. Psalm 150. Praise Yahweh. Praise Elohim in his sanctuary. Praise him in his mighty heavens. Now, is there going to be a sanctuary on earth? Yeah, there's going to be a sanctuary on earth. Where's it located? Still, it hasn't been shown to you yet. We haven't got to Ezekiel and the other books in Isaiah, but yeah, and the other 12 prophets. Very important because they're all end time prophets. They're speaking present time, but they're end time if you pay attention to what they're saying. So, where's the sanctuary? I think maybe I'll show it this next time, maybe after Ruth, but we'll show you where the David's the father's house was that David built for him. The wilderness tents and so forth. And then when he built one, Solomon did, his son, and David designed it and so forth. And then where the later temple was during Nehemiah and back from Babylon. And then after that, the one that was built on top of it, it wasn't moved. It wasn't moved up to the temple site at the mosque, the dome. It wasn't there. It's not there. And you're going to see that when you read through everything. And I'm just kind of hitting you right now. Oh, it is too. I talked to my pastor and he said, your pastor hasn't read the word, period. And I'm just saying that as a majority. They haven't read the word because they just get up there and they just say the same thing, getting off their internet, Google ministries, and then watching whatever special holiday it is to make sure it fits, and make sure on Mother's Day everybody gets some kind of a rose or a flower, and then on St. Patrick's Day everybody gets a little shamrock or something, and then on July the 4th everybody gets a flag or some of their favorite ball teams. What is going on in the churches? All right. Oh, you're now in the sanctuary. So there's a living sanctuary now, but is there going to be an actual land sanctuary where this temple, we are the temple. So 144,000 temples are going to be working around the sanctuary area and the oblation area. And there's two of them. There's one for the Levites, and the one south of that is the one for the actual sanctuary of where Yahweh dwells. And that will rise up, whether it rises up physically or it doesn't make a difference. The living waters will come out of that area after the split in Jerusalem, which is currently in the year 2020, Jerusalem is not a holy place. How could you say that? That's where the Lord will... Because it's not. By the way, it's all full of a bunch of nonsense that when you go there, because I need to see Jerusalem, I need to go there and walk the streets of Jerusalem. You do, well, you're getting a bunch of nonsense tours. Almost all of them are nonsense tours. The Walk of the Roses and the 14 stations and all the, are you kidding me? The Bible ends. It ends in Revelation, in this current age that we live in. It right now, 2020, it ends with Jerusalem. His name is not where Yahweh lives. It is Sodom and Egypt. It's an evil place full of people who call themselves Jews but are not. Call themselves of Judah but are not. Call themselves Judah but are atheist. And what is an atheist? Somewhat mixed Jew. I think we know what they are. But anyway, they're not Jewish. A Jewish person, as Yeshua was, believes in the Father and the Son and the resurrection and all that. and believes in a coming Messiah, which would be the same Messiah that left, not a new one, according to the Jews, a new guy. And you will be slaves to them. Wow, that's what you're hearing on that side of it. And the Christians, they don't hear anything because they're sound asleep. Their ministers don't know how to do that.